What's going on, y'all? My name is Tommy. Welcome back to the channel. This week on the Ancestry Anthology, it's the Aphorite. If you're liking what you're seeing, like, subscribe, ding the bell. Stay caught up on all your stuff for now. Let's dive in. Okie dokie. So we talked about the Aphorites in 1st edition when they were released. You can follow this card for more lore and look at really jank art. Let's look at good art. Look at these much better Aphorites that don't hurt the eyes to look at. Say it with me, everyone. Thank you, artist who drew these, for delivering us from a janky and sad past into a much more beautiful future. No, seriously, it was bad. Aphorites, originally forged by the Axiamites, which I often confuse and have re-recorded this twice because I say Axiamites when I mean Aphorites on several occasions, to serve as the emissaries between the eternal city of Axis and the material plane, and then on and on, whether they be born into someone's bloodline or just like a given Aphorite who has to walk the line between predestined things and the mathematical 1 + 1 is 2, so follow the equation, and the free will that humanoids would have might leave and then, you know, go do their own thing. Typically, you're looking at a humanoid with eyes, hair, and complexions with a metallic sheen, running dangerously close to the Aasimar line, skin infused with crystalline motes, glowing symbols that flash in rhythm. It's like an android Aasimar hybrid. Somebody build an android versatile heritage Aasimar. Confuse your GM, it'll be fun. But mechanically, the Aphorite is a versatile heritage, which gives you low light or dark vision depending on what you had to start with, and a slew of feats as well. At level 1, axiomatic lore gets you trained in diplomacy and society. You were built to be an emissary after all, as well as axis lore or other things if you happen to already have those. Internal cohesion lets you and your allies treat your specific wounds without healer's tools, and once per day when someone rolls a failure or critical failure on a check to treat you, you can focus that 1 + 1 = more HP to increase the degree of success by 1 step. Really good if someone didn't take medicine assurance, and that would like kill you. Intuitive crafting gets you trained in crafting and specialty crafting in a crafting specialty of your choice. Lemma of vision, which I think this is really cool flavor text. You've solved a tiny stepping stone in your self-discovery, awakening new depths in your sight by walking that line between predestined and free thought, walking that line between anarchy and democracy. Like, this is Twitch plays Pokemon all over again. You learn how to use your eyes better and get dark vision about it. I think that's dope. On to level 5, Crystalline Dust for 2 actions. Lets you disperse the stuff inside you out as a haze, making you concealed, but you can't hide in your own crystal powder. I wonder if I get demonetized for that line. We'll see. The motes stay within about an inch of your skin, they move with you, and they last for a number of rounds equal to half your level. Slight darkness, but much brighter. So it's not darkness at all. Moving swiftly on. Incorporate. For 1 action, if you're afflicted by a disease or poison, or you're taking persistent damage, you can either, if it's a disease or poison, attempt a saving throw against the affliction at its current stage. On a failure, it doesn't increase, but you suffer the effects of the stage you were already on. On a critical failure, the stage only increases by 1. As a kind of better try to get the poison out of you really quickly, the persistent damage gives you a 1 action flat check to recover without necessarily having the help or jumping in water if you're on fire. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's not bad, I guess. I'd like it better if it was more than once per day, so like worst case scenario, you could incorporate the shit out of yourself to try to get the bad shit out of yourself. Anyway, offensive analysis lets your Bon Mot get even better, god I wish. True Strike is a divine innate, once per day. So many ancestries get this around 5th level that I've kind of become numb to it. Like, it's really good, don't get me wrong, but it feels not as unique after seeing like androids, for example, also get this. There's a lot of overlap, especially considering these 2 ancestries were printed in the same book. Analyze information gives you a 3rd level hypercognition once per day as a divine innate for when you really need to roll 5 recall knowledge checks right goddamn now. Ancillary motes lets you crystalline dust yourself off 1 more time per day, and you could take this over and over and get it more than once if you just really would rather be shiny, like a treasure from a sunken axiomatic wreck or something. Crystalline Cloud, however, lets you disperse the dust for 1 additional action to a 10-foot radius cloud which is centered on you. Doing so gives us the Concentrate trait, and everything within the cloud becomes concealed, and everything outside the cloud becomes concealed to creatures within it. So not a bad fog cloud when you really need to just jam it out. Preemptive reconfiguration is a reaction when you would take bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. The impact area briefly reorganizes into a strengthened tissue lattice that blunts the attack. That's dope, I like that a lot. This gives you resistance equal to your level to whatever was going on there. This is once per day unless you took Crystalline Dust, in which case you can preemptive reconfiguration without spending the once per day reaction by instead counting it towards the Crystalline Dust limit. So, okay, that's not bad. I guess if you were playing the like Ancestry Paragon game and you had more Ancestry feats, this could be really cool. As it stands, one extra thing if you didn't have a shield isn't bad. Bonus points if your psychic friend is shielding you and also warding off some of that damage. Impose Order is a fun reaction when you would critically fail a skill check or suffer an effect with a misfortune trait. You fuck with the underlying fabric of reality to impose a baseline of order. But is that really order? Like, these guys work under predisposition, so if you were destined to fail, but then you fuck with it so you succeed, this is why I don't play Lawful Neutral. If the trigger was a skill check, you get a result of instead 10 plus your proficiency bonus, so kind of like the ability to like take 11 from 1E. If the trigger was an effect with the misfortune trait, the misfortune and fortune effects cancel each other out as normal, so you would just take a straight roll, which not bad. Then lastly, Channel the Godmind. For 1 minute, gives you a precise motion sense out to 60 feet, lets you see invisible creatures and objects, and gives you a 9th level true seeing, so when you really need it, there it is. For that one combat, nah, you're good. Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts here. On the one hand, there are so many reactions and feats that are written to have extra value if you took more Crystalline Dust things, but you only get 5 Ancestry feats. If one could take Crystalline Dust at level 1, I might feel a little different. You could like Crystalline Dust, Ancillary Motes for 3 in total, and then lastly take Preemptive Reconfiguration to have 4 total uses of that reaction. As it stands, you gotta wait so long for it to go online, and then you're not getting anything from your Ancestry as well. It's like we just barely missed the mark on that one. With that said, it's an interesting shell to build around, if nothing else. I, as a player, as evidenced by my egregious and massive catalog on the internet, really like taking weird niche builds and then fine-tuning them. So I could definitely see myself spending like a week staring at a computer trying to make this work, and I probably will, honestly. But it's just, it was so close to good. The Aphorite also seems to be vying for a niche that the Android takes, that the Automaton takes, that the Aasimar takes, and I like that it exists, much like I like that the Gonzi exists. It's unique to Paizo. It's their thing that they made to spit out, so it's not necessarily just another flavored variety of Aasimar, but I wish there was a little more, if I'm honest with you. Anything from stealing some of the abilities of various Aphorites or even Inevitables. Sort of like how the Duskwalker got way better in 2nd edition than it ever was in 1E. Or even just like other abilities that are like Impose Order stapled in here a little more. To more mechanically express that we're walking the line between free will and calculated logical destiny. Call it my inner chaotic good talking, but if I were to play an Aphorite, I think I would be trying to break from tradition and use it as subversion just as hard as possible to be perfectly logical, but then apply that logic to a like less logical life choice, or maybe just having it as a fallback for a concept where it's like, no, I like to travel the world and do my own thing, but oh man, sometimes the math just ain't math, and hang on, and then be able to have that, like, dare I say, lattice within your mind to catch yourself, to support that more free will lifestyle. That's all the time I have for this one. What do y'all think? Are we playing them? Have you traded your soul away for magic and better tax returns to Abadar? Let me know all about it in the comments. Thank you all so much, as always, for watching. We'll see you next time.